yields back. Chair now recognizes Mr. Bell of Missouri.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and the ranking member. Ms. Thompson, General Cavoli, thank you for being here. And also, General, I want to add to the chorus thanking you for 38 years of service. I would be remiss if I did not express my deepest condolences to the families of the 4 service members who tragically lost their life serving our nation in Lithuania. Again, thank you for your service, and on behalf of my district in the St. Louis region, we want to thank you. And since you got a little time, if you ever want to come out, we're known for a beer. You can have that now, right? We're known for that in Cardinals game. So while our European allies have been working to increase their defense spending to meet the 2% NATO defense spending target, the administration's recent decision to impose tariffs on nearly every NATO country and allied partner could undermine these efforts and potentially slow our collective progress. General Cavoli, how do you foresee these tariffs impacting the defense spending of our European allies?
You know, I don't know, Congressman. Sir, in an economic sense, I'm not an economist, so I can't walk through the trail of how it'll work. I do know that our allies are determined to increase their defense capability and capacity, no matter where they buy things from or no matter how they get it. That is nearly a universal sentiment in the alliance right now. And to spend more than 2%, as you go around, you hear a lot of that.
And are these countries now less likely to meet the 2% target due to these tariffs? And will this hurt our European allies, including the Baltic states, who outspend the U.S. As a percentage of GDP?
Sir, if they're unable to access our market, or if they have to pay more than expected for equipment, certainly that's going to affect how much capacity they can build, how quickly. I don't know how the tariffs will exactly do that, though.
In the past 6 months, Russian and Chinese ships have been implicated in sabotaging undersea cables. This comes as no surprise given Russia's ongoing efforts to target Ukrainian power cables, telecom links, and gas pipelines since its invasion of Ukraine in 2022. General, how is European Command addressing the threat of sabotage or disruption of undersea cables in European waters, and what steps are being taken to mitigate the risks posed by state actors, particularly Russia and China?
So European Command, sir, first, as with some of the other responses, shares intelligence when we get intelligence on this to support our allies as they defend their own infrastructure. We also defend our own U.S. critical infrastructure that's overseas. Interestingly, the biggest collective defenses of critical national infrastructure don't involve the U.S. hardly at all. So last year, I started an operation called Baltic Sentry, where we brought together under NATO command voluntarily donated ships and crews, as well as coastal defense radars from the Baltic allies, the allies in the Baltics and the Nordics. And we sewed those together into a single operation that surveils and increases our understanding of what's going on the surface and below the surface of the Baltic Sea. For the longest time, there were no U.S. ships involved in that. There are no U.S. ships involved in it today. I think I have 40 Marines who temporarily helped with a couple of radars, and I think they may have departed already. So this is an example of our allies taking that upon themselves as they should, and happily.
And if I could get one more question in general, can you discuss the implications if the administration withdraws U.S. troops from Syria? How might this affect our counterterrorism efforts in the Eastern Mediterranean?
So it would mainly, from my perspective, affect our ability to collect intelligence And I have to leave that at that in open session, sir. You know, I concern myself very much with the Russian presence in the Eastern Mediterranean. That has been greatly weakened by
Gentleman's
the
time's
recent
expired.